Sí.
Hello everyone, today we are back with another amazing sci-fi thriller movie, Selfless. A rich old man named Damien is suffering from cancer, and is waiting for his death. His daughter is avoiding him. He was doubtful about what would he do with all his savings, so he reached out to a scientist named Albright. He suggested a solution to Damien's problem, that was transferring all of his memories into another artificially constructed body, so that Damien can live the rest of his life in that body with those memories. Left with no other choice, he agrees. But what awaited him after he switched the bodies were some shocking revelations. The film opens with Damien sitting in a rich room with all his furnishings, and looking out over the vast expanse of the city outside. The scene then cuts to Damien sitting with his friend Martin in a restaurant. Another person is with them. He came to sign some contract with Damien, but he had said something bad about the company before. Damien didn't give him the contract for that reason. Hearing this, he immediately gets angry and curses him by saying that Damien would die in a year. When he left, Damien smiled and said to Martin that the doctors told that it's not a year, but just 6 months left for him. When Martin asked if he had told Claire about this, he said that he didn't, and that she is still not comfortable with him. Later, when sitting in the car, Damien tries to call his daughter on the phone, but the call does not connect. Meanwhile, he has a card in his hand. It also has an address. It was the address of Albright, a scientist who was doing shedding. Then a scene where Damien went to meet him before is shown as a flashback. Dr. Albright explains about the details of shedding to Damien. Shedding is an expensive treatment, and not many people know about it. Moreover, less than a dozen people have done it so far. It is one in which one's memories are transferred to another artificial body upon death. Doctor then shows him a body that is going to share his memories with. Damien asks him whether it has life, and the doctor tells him that it has life, but now it is like an empty vessel. The doctor tells him that it would be complete only after receiving the memories. The doctor did not give a definite answer when Damien asked him why this is being done so secretly in the lab, so he realizes that it's illegal and left the place. In the next scene, Damien goes to an office to meet his daughter Claire. After talking to her for a bit, Damien handed her a checkbook and told her to keep it as she's short of funding there. She gets angry and tells him to stop thinking that a checkbook would make everything okay. Damien left the office. He then comes to the room and is surfing the internet about shedding. While watching a video of it, Damien suddenly lost consciousness. Immediately, he was taken to the hospital. The next scene shows Damien sitting in the hospital and calling Albright. He informs the doctor that he's interested in shedding. Albright then tells him to come to the place when everything gets back to normal. Later, Damien is shown going there on a flight. In the next scene, Damien and his friend Martin are sitting in a restaurant. As Damien drank his coffee, he suddenly began to feel uneasy. Martin asked him whether there's any problem. After saying no, Damien fell from the chair he was sitting on. Then shows the scene where he is taken to the hospital. But Damien immediately realized that they were not taking him to the hospital. The ambulance went through a warehouse and reached a lab. It was Albright's lobby. All this was his plan to get Damien there without anyone suspecting. When Damien was taken out of the ambulance and taken to the hall, one of Albright's assistants asked if all the metals that were implanted in his mouth had been removed. If there is a metal presence anywhere in those passes between shedding, the process will not be complete. So he is scanned to check it. After scanning and realizing that there is no metal, the shedding began under Albright's leadership. The artificial body that has been prepared for him has also been placed just beyond the bed. In the next scene, Damien is shown opening his eyes after a while. One of Albright's assistants came to him and asks his name. When he said his name is Damien, the assistant went back. That's when Damien notices his hand. He is like a young man without any wrinkles. Moreover, his own body is lying motionless next to him. People in the lab covered it with a white cloth. Damien realized with a shock that he was now inside another body. In the next scene, Albright comes to him who was sitting alone. Some vague memories of seeing Albright flashed in his mind. Albright then showed him a news of his death on his laptop. Albright then tells him that from now on, Damien can lead a normal life in the society as a different person. He also added that little training is necessary for it. The next scene shows Damien training to walk, swim and regain his energy. Meanwhile, Albright brings him a medicine and tells him to eat it every day. He also added that even death can occur if he fails to have it, and that even a day's delay would have huge consequences. Along with the training to become physically fit, he had to learn something else. New date of birth and family details on a fake identity given to him by Albright. Now he is going to live in this society with that identity. Albright has created a fake life for him. In the next scene, Damien is leaving the lab. Albright is sitting outside in the car. He handed him a wallet containing all the identity cards and credit cards for the new life Damien was about to start. Then he was given the medicine for a week. Damien asks him to give some more, but Albright told him that it can be given only once in each week. He also tells Damien not to contact him, and that he will come when it's right time. Albright then drops him off in front of a house, and tells him to stay there for a month or two, and after that, he could relocate to anywhere. Damien was really surprised when he entered the house. A rich house with many amenities and a new model car. Later on, he started enjoying his life. Meanwhile, in the basketball game, he got a friend named Anton. After getting close to him, he got a company for enjoyment. Meanwhile, when the medicine wore off, he was getting it all again. One day while he was going through his laptop, a photo of his daughter popped. He immediately picked up the phone and called her. While she was asking who it was from the other side, he didn't know what to answer. While sitting there, he suddenly began to feel dizzy. Some shapes were flashing through his mind. He had forgotten to take his medicine while spending time with a girl the previous day. The dizziness was because of that. He suddenly stumbles and takes the bottle of medicine, but he fell down with it. The shapes in his mind began to become clearer. A water tank in the shape of a pumpkin, a mother and daughter. The daughter is being treated for some disease. He suddenly somehow took a pill and eats it. In the next scene, Albright arrives to meet him. Damien told him that some scenes were flashing in his mind as a mother and a daughter asking for his help, and the daughter is sick. Albright tells him that everything is just his thoughts. He also added that what help does that Latin girl whom you have never met before need from you? Suddenly Damien asked him how did he know that it was a Latin girl. Albright gave him a ticket without replying. He told him to stay somewhere else, and also gave him some medicine. In the next scene, Damien is getting ready to go to the place that Albright suggested, but he was still confused about what Albright told the previous day. He immediately searches the internet for the pumpkin water tank that he saw. He finds that there is one in a place. Then Albright's men come to take him away. When they drop him at the airport, he immediately changes his ticket and takes a flight to the place that he saw on internet. He reached near the water tank. Next to it there was a house. He went straight to the house and knocked on the door. The door was not locked. He slowly opened the door and entered. Inside was a photo of the woman he had dreamed of, and her daughter's medical sheets were also lying there. He realized that it wasn't just his feelings. He was really shocked when he saw some photos of him with that mother and daughter. That is the photo of his current look. Moreover, there were many photos of him in military dress. Then someone pointed a gun at him from behind. It was the woman in that photo. She tells him to get off assuming that he is a thief. Then, Damien slowly turned to face her. The woman was shocked to see him. Suddenly she was shocked and called him as Mark. Just then someone knocks on the door from outside. When Damien goes and opens the door, the man grabs him and holds him at gunpoint. The man who came from behind caught the woman too. He realized that these were all Albright's men, but when he saw Anton with them, he realized that even someone he had unexpectedly became friends with was part of Albright's plan. Then they started talking. Damien asked him that the woman says that he is dead, and that Albright told him that he created this body artificially, and that he needs to hear the truth. Anton said that the man sold his body to pay for his daughter's treatment, and that's why she is healthy now. At the same time, the woman has been made unconscious by Albright's men. Anton then asked him to get into the car. When asked about the woman, Anton said that he would take care of it, and would make it look like she died in an accident. After that, Damien told them that he need to use the washroom. By this time, they have started burning the woman's car in the yard. One of Anton's men went into the bathroom with him to ensure that he doesn't escape. Damien took one of his pills. Then, he beats up Anton's companion and took his gun. Immediately, Damien fired a shot at Anton's companion from the other side of the door. On hearing this, Anton told him to be calm. He slowly entered the bathroom, saying that he had put his gun down. Anton grabs the gun from Damien's hand, pretending to start talking to him. Later, they gets into a fight, and during the fight, Damien's medicine fell down. They both fight and storm out of the house. Damien went back inside the house, and now Anton and his friends are standing outside. They keep firing into the house. Meanwhile, Damien went straight to the woman who was dozing. woke her up and took her to the barn. From the basement they could clearly see Anton and his men. Damien immediately took out his gun and shot the man holding the fire gun. But by mistake, the man turned the fire gun towards Anton, and he burns himself and falls into a small water tank nearby. Damon then shoots everyone there and escapes with the woman. The woman was asking him what was happening. He said that this was all part of the deal, that he agreed to save his daughter. After becoming normal, she told him that she had to go to school to pick her daughter. Both of them went to the school. While the woman was saying something to her daughter, Damien, who was sitting inside the car, goes through her phone and plays a video. It was the video of Mark and his family celebrating their daughter's birthday. Then he got out of the car. Seeing him, his daughter ran towards him and hugged him. In the next scene, they are in a hotel room. His daughter and wife come to talk to him, but he was a little uncomfortable of them approaching him. Later he is searching something in laptop for his medicine. That's when he saw an old video of Dr. Jensen, who made shedding. He noticed Albright standing near Jensen. Suspicious, he started investigating about Dr. Jensen. He realizes that Dr. Jensen has been dead for some time, and his wife is still alive. Suddenly his head started spinning, and some memories started coming to his mind, and he fainted. When he opened his eyes, he saw his wife holding him up. She was telling that they should go to the hospital. She asked where are they running to, but he said nothing about it. He said that they have to go to another place tomorrow to get the medicine. The next scene shows them going to the hospital. His daughter was asking about the intention of the visit, and he said that he just needs to talk to the doctor's wife. Then he went inside the house to talk to doctor's wife. The mother and daughter are sitting in the car. He introduced himself as a student and started talking to the woman, saying that he is interested in the project that her husband was working on. He said that he wants to follow it up. While talking to her, he realized another truth. Dr. Albright always comes to see this woman. When the woman said that he used to give them many gifts that they liked in the past, he really understood the situation. Dr. Albright is actually Dr. Jensen himself. At the time of his death, Dr. Jensen had acquired the body of his young colleague, Albright, through shedding. Next scene shows Albright. His wife called him and asked him to come home. So when Albright went straight to his wife, she was lying there in a daze. Behind him was Damien with a gun pointing at Albright. Damien asks him, was that whole story a lie? He added that he need medicine as soon as possible. Damien also tells him that what he is doing is very bad. Albright told him that he found out a solution for death, and that he used it for himself, but he couldn't save his wife as she was suffering from Alzheimer's. Then he opened up to Damien that every medicine that he is taking is killing the memories of Mark, and that if he takes the medicine for about a year, the whole memory of Mark will disappear completely. After that, Albright is being taken to the lab at gunpoint. That's when one of Albright's henchmen came and snatched the gun from Damien's hand and put him under control. Then they went downstairs with Damien. Meanwhile, Damien started getting migraines again. That's when Mark's wife came there. When the rest tried to attack her, Damien beat them all. Mark's wife shot a man from behind who tried to hit Damien. Damien was shocked to see the necklace around the man's neck as he fell to the ground. It was Anton's necklace. That is, Anton was being shed to another body. He suddenly checks him for medicines and takes the medicine from his hand and eats it. Even though his wife came to him asking about the events happening, he didn't say anything, but she was compelling him to answer her. Finally he told her everything that happened. He told her that he is no longer Mark, but Damien. When she came to know everything, she started crying. She gets angry at him by saying that he is so selfish, but Damien consoled her by saying that he would save her and her daughter. They then went straight to Martin's house. Even though he introduced himself as Damien, Martin doesn't believe it, but when Damien told some secrets about them, he believed. Damien asked him to help to rescue Mark's wife and daughter to another place. Martin assured him by saying that he would take care of it. In the next scene, Damien is shown spending time with Mark's daughter. Mark's wife was observing all this. Later she gets close to him. She asks him about his family, and he told her that he has a daughter, but is not so close to him. When she asked the reason, Damien changed the subject as if he is not interested in answering. He asks her where does she wants to go. She said that Mark had a favorite spot, a Caribbean island. At the same time, it is also shown that the daughter is going somewhere. While having his medicine, Damien noticed a room right next to them with all the windows boarded up. They both started searching for Anna. Immediately they went to the lower room, and there was Anna playing with a boy of her age. After seeing him, Damien takes Anna and leaves immediately. His wife asked him what's the matter. He said that it's Martin's son and that he died 2 years ago. Damien took the gun and went straight to Martin, and asked how much time is left for them. On realizing that Damien got to know the truth, Martin tells him that he is indebted to them as they gave his son back. He also said that he just informed them about Damien. Damien tells him that it's not his son, but Martin was so sure about it. He said that they nailed a body artificially, but Damien told him that it's not, and the boy is someone else's son. That's when he understood the situation. As soon as he understood all that, he started to save Damien from Albright. Martin said that he would make them safe. He told that there is a path through a forest, and that he would help them to escape through that way. He drove off with Mark's wife and Anna. Then Damien takes a car and leaves from there. That's when Albright's men started shooting at the car. They were following him. A chasing scene is then shown. Damien escapes from them by knocking Anton and others behind. Anton's car is broken down. Damien took the gun and got out of his car and walked straight to Anton's car. He was lying there. Damien left without doing anything, thinking about their old friendship. At the same time, Anna and her mother, who were walking with Martin through the forest, saw a car coming that way and got into it. Martin was calling from behind, but they didn't hear him and got into the car. In the next scene, Damien is waiting for his wife and daughter in a hotel. Suddenly Martin came up there and said that he couldn't save them, and that they went in a car. After that, the two are shown sitting in a hotel room. Damien didn't take the medicine to get a clue about Mark. He sees something in his dream. It was a park. In the next scene, he is at the park. After beating a guard in the park, he entered its warehouse. It was set up like a lab. He walked inside. He saw a shocking scene when he went inside. Anton, who was dying in the car, has been placed there for shedding in the lab. Suddenly a voice was heard from behind. It was Albright. Damien shot him, but that glass was bulletproof. By then, some men came in with guns and took Damien away. Albright is now trying to shut Anton into Damien's body. As soon as he realizes that, he picks up a bullet lying on the ground and puts it in his mouth. After shedding, Albright asks him his name, and Damien replies as Anton. In the next scene, everything is normal, and Damien starts behaving like Anton. He asks the place where they kept the mother and daughter. Thinking that it was Anton now, he told him the place. Taking out the gun from someone there, he went straight down. That's when Albright noticed a bullet lying in the shedding area. He understood that Damien fooled him. Meanwhile, Damien saves Anna and his wife by shooting all the people. He landed right in front of Albright. Albright was on the other side of the bulletproof glass. Suddenly, Albright saw that the bulletproof glass in front of him melting, and Damien burns Albright. He then escapes with Anna and his wife. He sends them to the island. In the next scene, Damien is off to see his daughter Claire. He introduces himself as a friend of Damien, and told her that her father was so proud of her. He handed her a note saying that it's a letter from Damien. While leaving, when he turned back, he saw her crying after reading the letter. The next scene shows Damien waking up in a hotel. It's not Damien anymore. It was Mark. Damien's memories slowly faded away. He got up from the bed and walked forward to see a laptop. It contained a video that Damien had recorded. He was thanking him and telling him to take care of his family. Moreover, it also contained information on the current whereabouts of Mark's wife and daughter. Mark is then shown going to that Caribbean island where his wife and daughter are living. His wife hugged him happily when she found out that it was Mark who came back. The film shows a wide shot of them hugging each other on that white sandy island. The film is a scientific, slightly more believable version of a theme that we have often heard in many comic and fantasy stories. This one film excels in every field and thrills the audience at every moment. Selfless is a must-watch movie for all sci-fi thriller lovers. Hope everyone liked this movie. We will be back with another interesting movie. Till then, bye from Fastcuts.